Bringing now retired Navy SEAL and New York Times bestselling author Jason Redman. Jason, you just heard that report from Trey Yingst. He said, while the Iranians can send off successive rounds of ballistic missiles towards Israel, they still have thousands basically in their back pocket, in their arsenal. Is there any concern, as far as you understand, that the Iron Dome's capabilities of responding to those successive rounds can be depleted?
I mean, the Iron Dome is obviously a system that at some point could be overwhelmed. But like he said, I mean, they can only launch about 50 at a time. The United States government, Israel is one of our strongest allies. We're going to be set up. We're going to be supporting them. And I know we're actively working to shoot down anything that the Iranians try and send into Israel. I am more impressed with, obviously, the highest level of special operations they utilize to these elimination operations to take out top commanders. I think that is the biggest message that Israel sent to Iran and the world.
It's something that you know about special operations, Jason. I know you fairly well. So talking to an individual like yourself, I think that deserves the obvious follow-up. What impresses you? I mean, obviously the execution and the accomplishment, but what went into that from your side of understanding and appreciating what they pulled off in Iran?
I mean, it's impressive to penetrate into another nation, into their sovereignty, to put in special operations teams. We call this advanced special operations. What they pulled off, I guarantee, was years in the making. When we're overseas and we're looking at targeting individuals, whether key leaders, whatever that is, we build target packages over time. We have to establish patterns of life. We have to know where they're going to be. Where do they live? How do they move? What's their protection look like? These were some of Iran's top military leaders. I mean, effectively, they took out the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They took out our special operations commander, and they took out one of Iranian's top physicists behind their nuclear program. And they did all this in one night with teams that they had put on the ground that developed these intel packages. They were on standby until this moment. The Rising Lion operation was launched, and it is amazing. Well, it goes even further, and this is what blew me away when I read about this even more. Not only did they send this message, and Iran's really in a no-win situation. They can escalate all they want, but Mossad sent messages to all its Iran's second-tier leaders who were next in line, and many of their other key leaders they didn't take out. They sent these messages with letters under the door. They sent them with phone calls, and they even sent them with phone calls to their spouses. And they said, we know where you are, and we will not hesitate to take you out.
What do you think the effect of that will be, Jason? I mean, for any, common observer like myself, you can only imagine the fear that would instill in the decision-making process that might impact for anyone that wants to step into the leadership vacuum in Iran. But what will happen, do you imagine, in Iran? Will they step up anyway? There's a lot of talk about regime change, and I don't think unjustified talk. You have to ask, what are the goals? But the other question is, what does it look like, Jason, regime change? If it just starts to fall apart because the leadership has been killed, nobody steps up in the vacuum, you do wonder the domino effect in Iran.
Yeah, I would like to think that Israel is working strongly with the U.S. government and with our Middle Eastern allies to figure out what would that look like. I think we know better than almost anyone. When we took Saddam Hussein out of power, it created this massive power vacuum that ultimately led to ISIS is what ended up filling that vacuum. I hope, and I would have to imagine Israel's been planning this for years. But at the same time, the Ayatollah is at the end of his lifespan. He's got to recognize that this is a no-win situation without just committing to go all out. But Israel is holding all the cards in this situation.
Jason, you have vast experience in warfare, and I imagine some, therefore, understanding of everyone's military capabilities. You come to us tonight very impressed with Israel's. What is your understanding of Iran's? Their capability not just of hitting back at Israel, not just through the missiles that we're seeing on our screen, but through their special operations and forces, or for that matter, for their ability to strike American military or civilian targets.
Well, here, Iran's military, I mean, they're recognized as a mid-level military in the Middle Eastern world. Interestingly enough, Iran has fought all their wars through proxies. They've done it through Hezbollah. They've done it through Hamas. I mean, when we were in Iraq, when I was wounded in 2007, we lost guys because we knew we had Quds Force, that's Iranian Special Forces guys on the ground, Iran was putting in special projectiles and demolitions that would penetrate our armor. And that's the way Iran's always fought. Israel has worked very effectively to eliminate this. I mean, we've seen these incredible operations Israel has pulled off, systematically eliminating Hamas leadership, Hezbollah leadership. The Patriot attack that Israel pulled off years ago, or last year, was phenomenal. Another exercise in amazing advanced special operations.
Right. Incredible conversation, as it is always. Jason Redman, thank you for being with us here tonight.